constantly scanning the horizon for the next big investment opportunity, a place where growth isn't just some vague promise, but a strategic reality? If so, you're definitely in the right place today. We're doing a deep dive into Sindhudurg, a region that's, well, it's rapidly emerging as a real economic hotspot. And our mission here is to understand how tourism isn't just like a part of its economy. It really seems to be the primary economic catalyst driving massive opportunities, especially when you look at real estate.
That's exactly right. This deep dive, it's specifically curated, really, to unearth those critical insights for you, someone who might be considering an investment in a rapidly growing market like this one. Our focus is going to be on understanding that unique synergy, that link between tourism development and the demand for real estate in Sindhudurg, hopefully offering a clear roadmap for potential avenues of growth.
Absolutely. Think of this as maybe your shortcut to getting properly informed about what feels like a really unique opportunity. We've been talking about a wealth of information, and now we're sort of distilling the most important insights, giving you a clear, concise understanding of this pretty dynamic region. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Sindhudurg isn't exactly new to the tourism game, right? It's been building this foundation for decades. It was officially declared a tourism district way back in 1997. It's quite a long time ago.
It is. And what truly sets this apart for you as an investor is that this isn't just some short-term political promise or, a fleeting interest. We're talking about a multi-decade government-backed blueprint. That's huge. In the world of emerging markets, finding that kind of sustained de-risked growth trajectory planned out for 25 years, well, that's incredibly rare. It provides an almost unparalleled level of, let's say, investment security. You're not just gambling on a new idea, you're essentially building on a really well-established foundation.
That's a powerful point about stability. But even with a region designated for tourism decades ago, what are some of the maybe practicalities or potential hurdles, things that might still exist even with such a long-term vision?
That's a really vital question. Yes, the government backing is undeniably strong, but we can't ignore the practical side of things. For instance, land acquisition, particularly in coastal regions, it can sometimes be complex. It requires careful navigation, due diligence. There's also the potential, for strain on existing local infrastructure as tourism scales up rapidly. So ongoing investment in things like roads, water, waste management, that's absolutely crucial. And finally, the need for a skilled labor force to support high-end hospitality, specialized tourism. That need is only going to grow, which is both, well, a challenge and an opportunity for local development. These are definitely considerations for you to factor in.
Right, that adds a crucial layer of nuance. Good points. And yet, despite those considerations, the region really does offer this incredible mosaic of attractions. It seems to appeal to just about everyone. We're talking pristine beaches, the kind you dream about: Tarkarli, Vengurla, Malvan. And you've got these majestic historical forts standing proudly against the sea, like the iconic Sindhudurg Fort and Vijaydurg Fort. But it doesn't stop there, does it?
Not at all.
The region's also home to significant religious sites, beautiful waterfalls like Amboli and Napani, and a thriving adventure sports scene. You can imagine scuba diving, snorkeling, a whole range of water sports. Plus, there's a unique cultural heritage. The Malvan Marine Sanctuary, the charming Sawantwadi toys. It really is multifaceted. Coastal, eco, heritage, adventure, pilgrimage tourism. It covers so many bases.
And from an investment perspective, that wide appeal is incredibly powerful. It just makes for a more resilient tourism economy. When you cater to such a diverse range of visitors, people looking for history, adventure, spiritual solace, relaxation, your market isn't reliant on just one niche. This diversification, it fosters more stable and, importantly, varied demand for tourism-related real estate. And that's key for you because it translates directly into different property types you could consider investing in. It minimizes risk exposure and broadens those potential returns.
Okay, now let's explore the real estate possibilities this creates. It gets really interesting here. You could be looking at, say, high-end luxury beach resorts right on the coast, or maybe charming heritage stays nestled near those historical forts we mentioned. There's also likely strong demand for eco-lodges, perhaps adjacent to natural reserves for people seeking that tranquil escape. And of course, more budget-friendly places for pilgrims visiting the religious sites. The sheer variety is just astonishing, isn't it? All driven by this rich tourism mix.
Exactly. The possibilities are quite broad.
Now let's talk about the serious horsepower behind this growth, the governmental backing. It feels incredibly powerful. We start with the Maharashtra Tourism Policy 2024. That's a statewide initiative aiming to attract a, frankly, staggering INR 1,000 crore in private investment. Just for clarity, that's roughly 10 trillion Indian rupees, over 12 billion US dollars. Huge numbers. And the goal is to double tourist inflow over the next decade. Sindhudurg is set to be a direct major beneficiary. But it gets even more focused, doesn't it?
It does.
The federal government has brought in the Swadesh Darshan 2.0 scheme specifically for Sindhudurg. This isn't just some flimsy plan. It's a comprehensive 25-year master plan designed to really elevate the district's tourism profile.
Right. And the critical question for you as an investor is, what does a 25-year master plan truly signify? It signals a strong, unequivocal governmental commitment, not just to tourism itself, but to its sustainable and structured development. This creates a remarkably predictable and I'd say lower risk environment for private sector investment in tourism-related real estate. You're not just guessing the direction, you're investing in a market with a clear, long-term roadmap laid out. The plan focuses on things like enhancing branding, developing unique experiences, upgrading infrastructure, fostering SMEs, sustainability, governance, all things that support investment security.
The details in Swadesh Darshan 2.0 are certainly ambitious. What aspects of these plans strike you as most compelling, particularly if you're looking at it from an investment angle?
Well, I think the specificity of the projects is what's really compelling. We're talking about actual thematic beach development. Tarkarli, Chivla, Kunkeshwar. There's a clear push for promoting luxury tourism, things like spas and wellness centers, alongside, interestingly, rural tourism initiatives. They're looking to standardize adventure sports, which is important for safety and quality, and championing authentic Konkani culinary experiences. Plus, there's significant focus on restoring historical forts like Sindhudurg and Vijaydurg, often using public-private partnership models, PPPs.
PPPs. That sounds like a direct invitation for investment, right?
Absolutely. It's where government and private businesses collaborate to fund and operate projects. It's a clear signal. They're even developing water trails and looking at houseboat tourism in the creeks. These aren't just vague ideas, they're practically blueprints indicating where private capital can, and is encouraged to, flow.
Beyond these sort of overarching strategies, Sindhudurg has some truly, well, game-changing projects in the works. These seem designed to create niche markets and drive that premium demand. Take, for example, the INS Guldar Artificial Reef and Underwater Museum project near Navadi Rocks, just off Vengurla. This is a pretty ambitious plan, sinking a decommissioned warship to create India's first major artificial reef. The goal? To establish the area as a premier scuba diving destination. They're even talking about a submersible vessel for non-divers.
What's really innovative, I think, about this project is how it differentiates Sindhudurg, not just regionally, but on a national, maybe even international scale. It's not just another tourist spot, it's a unique draw. It attracts a very specific niche adventure and marine tourism enthusiasts. And this group often includes international visitors who, let's be honest, tend to have a higher spending capacity. For you, this translates directly into a very specific and potentially highly lucrative type of real estate demand. These visitors aren't typically looking for standard hotel rooms. They want specialized experiences.
Exactly. So this project specifically stimulates demand for specialized places, like dedicated dive resorts, maybe boutique hotels, catering to this unique clientele. And it's not just the accommodation, is it? It's all the support services, too.
Right, the whole ecosystem.
Dive shops, specialized training centers, dedicated transport to get people out to these underwater marvels. This demand seems concentrated, particularly in that Vengurla-Malvan coastal belt. And given the national significance of the INS Guldar project, it feels like a powerful driver for premium and luxury real estate development there.
No doubt about it. It's a catalyst for a higher tier of development.
So with all this development happening, I'm curious about the connectivity piece. We touched on infrastructure, but how exactly are these improvements, especially the new airports, impacting accessibility and, therefore demand?
That's a crucial question, absolutely. The improved infrastructure is massive. You've got better access through regional airports like Chipi, and importantly, the newly operational Uphe Airport. Upho is designed for much larger traffic volumes. Plus, you have the Konkan Expressway improving road travel. So, given this enhanced accessibility, the immediate question for you as an investor becomes, where are the immediate opportunities? We've already identified some infrastructure gaps like a limited supply of truly luxury accommodations and sometimes non-standardized services in existing homestays. Now, these aren't necessarily problems. They're actually clear avenues to capture unmet demand. These gaps highlight direct investment opportunities for providing high-quality, standardized options across the hospitality spectrum, from luxury resorts to well-managed eco-lodges and those specialized facilities we talked about, like those identified in the Swadesh Darshan 2.0 plan.
Right. But perhaps the most transformative shift we're seeing, and it seems significantly boosted by a Mope airport, is Sindhudurg emerging as a really thriving second home market. It's moving beyond just short tourist days.
That's a really crucial insight for you. That improved accessibility makes the district incredibly appealing for, say, urban investors, retirees, people looking for holiday homes. They're seeking more than just a hotel room. They want vacation homes, maybe retirement villas, or properties specifically for rental income. Its strategic proximity to North Goa is a big plus, combined with its own natural beauty, unique food, and, let's face it, the prospect of rising property values. It makes it an extremely attractive option for second home buyers. The second home market here isn't just growing, it's apparently been classified as a leader in that segment. That signals, well, potentially explosive growth.
So, while accommodation is clearly a huge part of the story, we probably need to broaden our scope a bit beyond just places to stay. There seem to be so many other investment opportunities this tourism boom is creating.
Absolutely. That overall tourism growth, it translates directly into demand for a whole range of commercial spaces. Think restaurants, retail outlets specifically catering to tourists, activity centers offering unique local experiences. And as we discussed, the Swadesh Darshan 2.0 plan explicitly identifies those public-private partnership opportunities for various tourism-related real estate projects. That gives you very clear avenues for collaboration and investment.
And we're already seeing developers respond, which is always a good sign, isn't it? They seem to
Yeah.
be moving beyond just individual buildings and planning larger scale themed projects, things like integrated townships, luxury villa developments. They're not just building houses. They often include hospitality and lifestyle components,
Yeah.
creating entire destinations within the region almost.
Yeah, exactly. And this creates a really compelling proposition for you, especially if you're looking for passive income streams. The potential for attractive rental yields, an average of 7.2% has been reported, is a significant draw. This isn't just driven by traditional tourism, but also by newer trends like workcation, where people blend work and leisure. So, for investors looking specifically at holiday home investments, that rental potential is particularly appealing. It makes the numbers work.
Okay, so let's try to briefly recap. Sindhudurg's story, fundamentally, it's built on tourism. That's been its foundational economic driver since way back in 97. We've talked about its incredible array of diverse attractions, beaches, forts, culture, adventure, appealing to a really broad audience. Then there's that powerful strategic governmental backing. Policies like the Maharashtra Tourism Policy 2024, the huge 25-year Swadesh Darshan 2.0 master plan, provides a clear roadmap for planned sustainable development. And we can't forget those unique standout projects like the INS Goldar Artificial Reef, creating demand for niche, maybe higher-end tourism.
And for your investment strategy, what really stands out is that Sindhudurg presents this rare blend. Natural beauty, yes, but combined with strategic development and really robust governmental support. This confluence of factors creates what looks like a truly compelling and crucially predictable market for growth, especially in real estate. It offers a unique window into a region that's not just growing randomly, but growing with purpose and a clear vision, making it, I would say, fertile ground for investment that you probably won't want to overlook.
So as you think about everything we've discussed today, maybe consider this. How might understanding Sindhudurg's story, its long-term government strategies, its unique tourism initiatives, how it's strategically leveraging its natural assets, how might that understanding fundamentally reshape the economic landscape and property values of other emerging coastal regions? And looking forward, where else might you find similar patterns for future investment? Looking for that deep foundational commitment to tourism as a primary economic engine, how might understanding Sindhudurg's story inform your search for the next leader in emerging markets? Something to think about.